Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Cuyahoga County Public Works Procurement Contracting Committee meeting, Wednesday, May 22nd of 2024. Janine, would you please call roll?
And just as a reminder to all who are in attendance, this meeting is being recorded and live streamed on the county's YouTube page. Calling the roll, Mr. Byrne.
Here.
Mr. Miller.
Present.
Ms. Conwell.
Present.
Mr. Sweeney.
Present.
Ms. Turner. Ms. Turner is absent at the moment. There is a quorum.
Thank you, Janine. Any public comments scheduled for this morning?
No, Mr. Chair, no one is signed in.
All right, with that, we'll move on to item number 4, the approval of the minutes from the May 1st, 2024 meeting. Has everyone had an opportunity to review any changes or corrections?
Yes.
I'll
Draft
make a
change.
motion to approve.
Second.
Thank you. I thought you had corrections. I was worried.
I read them. I told you I do every time.
All right, with that, we'll move on to item number Oh, thank you, Dale.
That's one of those things we.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Thank you. With that, we'll move on to item number 5. 5A is resolution number 2024-0187.
Resolution number 2024-0187, declaring that public convenience and welfare requires the reconstruction of Lee Road from Invermere Avenue to the North Corporation line in the cities of Cleveland and Shaker Heights in connection with the Northeast Ohio Area-Wide Coordinating Agency 2024-2027 Transportation Improvement Program.
Nicole English with Public Works. So this is the start of a project when we bring welfare and convenience forward. So we've been coordinating with Shaker Heights and Cleveland on this project for a little while. It was a planning study that they had done looking at some changing up the lane use in this area, making it more complete street and really improving Lee in this section. And so they've gotten buy-in from a lot of their community partners, and so they're ready to move forward on the project. NOACA has agreed to fund it at 80% federal funding, so the proposal would be that we then partner with the city. Normally, we do the 80-10-10, however, the 10% we felt was a little bit high on our side and as far as our budget goes, and we think this is a good candidate for Issue 1 grant funding, so we have committed to a maximum of $1 million in the project. The city's willing to pay the rest, but we will pursue grants, grant opportunities, specifically Issue 1, to fund the local share of the project. So this is just starting us off, and then, of course, we'll go through design and then would bid the construction, and the county would run the construction for them. So the city is appreciative. This is a big project for them, and with federal funding, and so they are happy that the county's willing to step up and partner with them on this.
Excellent. Do we have any questions?
Yes.
Councilwoman.
Through the chair to Nicole, it says in North Corporation line in the cities of Cleveland, so you spoke about the city giving funding. You're talking about just Shaker? Is the
Yeah, the
city
piece of Cleveland is a couple blocks on the end of it, so we intend that the federal money will cover that in the grants. We aren't asking Cleveland to contribute their share. There is actually a second project that's adjacent to this one that NOACA has funded. Cleveland's a little bit behind on the planning side of theirs, so we will talk to them about working on theirs next. But there will be a second project that sort of ties in at that end. So the piece in Cleveland on this one is very short. It's just kind of where the street changes character, so we'll go up until that kind of logical termini.
And do you know the district that both of these, what this project is?
We show 9.
Okay. All of 9, none of 7.
That's what I have on my form. I'll show you the map too, because sometimes I get.
All right, thank you, Mr. Chair.
Councilman Miller?
Mr. Chairman, Ms. Nicole, how long is the section of street that we're working on here?
Can I phone a friend to Councilwoman Conwell? Does it list on there? Sorry.
That's what I said. You need it back.
That is funny. First time ever that we're supplying information.
1.9 miles, sorry.
And am I correct that there's a further stretch of Lee Road that's farther north of this that's not in either this project or the adjacent project that you mentioned?
Are you saying, does Lee go further north?
Right.
Yes.
And what's the status of that section?
That I'm not sure. I would have to check with the cities. Nothing on our plans.
Okay. And so you can get back to me
Yep.
on that, okay? And Mr. Chair, Ms. Nicole, what's the expected time of start and time of completion?
So we're anticipating the design, that we would start the design soon. Actually, we're ready to put out a contract now to start design, and then construction would start in spring of '27. So we're in
Long way out.
Yes.
3 years. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, so it's really in the early stages. So they've done the planning, they know what kind of lane use they want, but we haven't started any design yet.
Okay.
Do we have any other questions? Nicole, are there bike lanes involved with this at all?
There is bike facilities. I'll have to get back to you on exactly what, but it's complete street. So they're adding, I think it's a multi-use path on the side of the road, but I can get you what came out of the plan.
Okay.
I have one further question. So, Mr. Chairman, Ms. Nicole, the estimated project cost of $21,040,000, is that for if the project were done now, or does it include an estimate for what it will be by the time we're actually going to construct it?
It does include inflation, our best guess. Obviously, things could change, but based on historic inflation, it is inflated.
Okay.
Any other questions?
I just have a comment. I do believe this is part of the Lee Road Action Plan,
Yes.
which was community-driven and a vision to basically transform that area to something that's more attractive, walkable, livable, commercial. So,
Yeah, and
very happy.
the city's working on their side too of consolidation of businesses and acquiring some properties and looking at driveway consolidations so that they're kind of doing behind the right-of-way work, and then we'll focus on the road. But you're absolutely right. This is out of that plan.
Thank you. Could you please add my name?
Absolutely. Councilwoman Turner's name added to this, and welcome, Councilwoman.
Thank you.
Any other questions or comments? Since it's only going to design phase, is it time sensitive or?
No, we're good with going 3 full
Three
readings.
readings, excellent.
Mr. Chairman?
Yes, Councilman.
I'll make a motion to favorably recommend Resolution 2024-0187 to the full council for second meeting.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Excellent. Moves on, 3 readings. Thank you, Nicole. Janine, we move on to item 5B.
Resolution number 2024-0188, approving right-of-way exhibits as set forth in plat number M-5055 for the replacement of Hilliard Boulevard Bridge number 08.57 over the Rocky River Valley Parkway and Trail in the cities of Lakewood and Rocky River.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
This is Jessica French.
Go ahead, she wants the other.
Oh, I'm sorry.
You're good.
Jessica French from Department of Public Works. Public Works will be constructing or replacing the Hilliard Road Bridge, 8.57, that is in both Lakewood and Rocky River. And it goes over the valley where there is Metro Parks and the river itself. There are going to be 10 owners that will be impacted by the acquisitions. Most of the acquisition will be from the Metro Parks, Cleveland Metro Parks. And the remaining acquisitions will be temporary or mostly temporary for grading and sidewalk work. We will begin after council approval to start negotiating with property owners and making them aware of the project itself. But acquisition doesn't have to be complete until 2025.
Okay. Any questions for Jessica? Yes, Councilwoman.
To the chair, to Jessica. So I don't remember, explain the 10 owners a little bit. I don't know if we've ever had quite so many.
Yep, so this will be, so one will be Metro Parks, obviously, the Cleveland Metro Parks. On the Rocky River side, there is an apartment building. I want to say it's Hill Rock Apartments, that's right over the bridge. On the Lakewood side, there are several residents, especially right at the intersection of Rocky River Drive and Hilliard. There's several residents, and most of that will be due to the roundabout that's going to be placed right there, as well as the sidewalks.
And so is this a large bridge?
The Hilliard Road Bridge, yes, it's very large.
Thank you.
Any other questions?
Yes.
Yes, Councilman Miller.
Could you describe why we decided to include a roundabout in the project plan? My experience is that those cause a lot of confusion and potential fender benders, as it's hard to know who's next to go around the roundabout.
Nicole English with Public Works. So it worked on the traffic component. So roundabouts, I'd say if your only experience is down by Steel Yard, I get where you're coming from. The 2-lane roundabouts are complicated. 1 lane seemed to work a little better, and that's what this would be, and a little easier for people to navigate. So we're not putting as many traffic lanes on the bridge in the future because they're not needed anymore for the amount of traffic volume. And so in order to save costs, it really did work the best for the traffic model, was the roundabout on that side. And so the cities and the metro parks all weighed in and agreed that was our best solution. They are actually proven to be safer than a traffic signal because people are going slower as they go through them, maybe because they're confused. But
So there's more crashes, but they're less deadly. Wonderful.
No, I don't believe that.
Hopefully not, but you don't have as many of the, kind of T-bone or rear ends, people, if anything, they bump into each other. And if it's a 2-lane, you have more side swipes, but the 1-lane roundabouts actually are proven to be safer, more cost-effective, and better for the environment because people aren't idling at the signals either. So they do work really well. It does take an adjustment.
So most of my experiences is with 2-lane roundabouts,
Yeah.
both at Steel Yard and some other places, so we'll keep an open mind on this.
And those are more complicated for sure.
Okay.
Do we have any other questions or comments? Time sensitive, what's the time frame?
Go 3 readings.
3 readings with this also? Great. Do I have a motion to move it forward?
So moved?
Second?
All those in favor?
Aye.
Great. I don't think anyone opposed? Okay, thank you, Jessica. Janine, we move on to item number 5C.
Resolution number 2024-0189, authorizing an amendment to Resolution number 2022-0132, dated 6/7/2022, which authorizes state contract purchase to the safety company doing business as MTech Company for the purchase of 1 replacement Dynavac straight jet truck and 2 Q's TV trucks for the sanitary division.
Good morning, everyone. Tom Pavich, Department of Public Works. There's a proposed substitute, I'm not sure if it's in front of you, the date of the resolution number R2002 shall now read R2022. Additionally, the original purchase order that was approved back in 2022 was not 24001045. That shall now read 22001945. The actual item we're requesting to modify this previously approved resolution that authorized Public Works to purchase 3 trucks for our sanitary division. 2 of them are camera trucks, which were previously built and delivered. The 3rd truck is it's a jetting truck for our sanitary division. It has not been built yet. There is no build date due to supply chain constraints, specifically with the chassis builder, which is an international. They're projecting 2025, possibly 2026 to have that built. The same vendor, which is MTech, approached us and proposed to us that we switch the chassis from an international to a Peterbilt, which we could get have this delivered this year. Excuse me. By changing the chassis to the Peterbilt, it does incur a price increase of $29,222. But at the same time, had we continued with the international chassis and waited until a later date, we were assuming the price probably would have went up as well due to that, the time gap. So this is a modification to that previously ordered, requested purchase order with MTech.
Mr. Chairman?
Yes, Councilman Miller.
I'll make a motion that we accept the substitute, which seems to be technical in nature, and that we make that version the version in front of the committee.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Excellent. So we accept the substitute. Just out of curiosity, so has there been an impact on our ability to provide services since there's been such a delay for these pieces of equipment?
No, because in cases such as this, we're requesting to, we're going to be replacing a 2008 jetting truck. Our sanitary division, we operate, I believe it's 13 sewer-type jetting trucks. This is specific to just a jetting truck. They don't do any vacuuming. So we currently do have a 2008, which we're looking to replace. We've got multiple. It's very aged. We're going to put that in gov deals when we're done with it. So we're still providing the same services. There's no impact. We still operate a full fleet. We're just trying to turn over and get new vehicles and replace the older ones that are costing more to maintain.
Yes, Councilwoman.
Through the chair to Tom, so you mentioned two different types, the chassis and the Peterbilt. And correct me if I'm wrong, the Peterbilt, we're only going to use that because it's quicker to be able to get it. Is there any other value to the Peterbilt? Like, will it last longer than the chassis or anything like that?
To answer that question, I'll say no. So we're changing from the international chassis to the Peterbilt. It's just a different model make. We have, I think, one or two other Peterbilts, so our technicians at our fleet division, they're fully trained, and we maintain those. And then we have a local Peterbilt rep that would modify anything with warranty issues. So, but by changing, we're able to get it quicker and, get the 2008 off the streets, costing less to repair.
How long do they normally last?
5 to 8 years. It's currently operating in 2008. Sanitary division, they run two different shifts. This truck may not be used every day because it's a high-powered jetting truck. So they bring that in. They also use it for dye testing when they flush the dye through the sewers to see where there's issues. So typically 5 to 8 years.
And the chassis, how long did they last?
It's all one. So the chassis and the body, they're typically 5 to 8 years.
Okay, so I guess what I'm trying to get at, since this cost of about roughly $30,000 more, and it was a determination, was the determination based on because we need it quick?
That's correct. And if we stuck with the original purchase order that was approved, we don't know when we would have taken delivery of that vehicle. The MTech, the manufacturer, through international, they had said it could be 2025, 26, or beyond. So we could have had a purchase order sitting out there, and by changing the chassis with the same vendor, and this was all procured through a state of Ohio contract, so it's already previously bid and or negotiated, we're able to get that truck sooner than later.
Thank you.
Any other questions or comments?
Mr. Chairman?
If not, yes, Councilman.
What is the time sensitivity on this? Are you requesting suspension, or can we go 3 readings?
I would like to request a suspension just so we can communicate the approved purchase order back to the vendor.
So I will then make a motion that we favorably recommend 2024-0189 as substituted to the full council with recommendation to leadership to put it on the agenda for second reading, suspension, approval.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Excellent. Thanks, Tom.
Thank you. Thank you.
With that, Janine, we move on to item 5D.
Resolution number 2024-0190, making an award on requisition number 13820 to the Murphy Contracting Company in the amount not to exceed $718,000 for the Cuyahoga County Medical Examiner's Building Elevator Modernization. Excuse me.
Morning, Mr. Chair, council members. This is a construction contract award recommendation to Murford Contracting Group for the modernization of the body elevator at the medical examiner facility. This is a particularly operationally sensitive elevator, critical to the medical examiner's operations. It transports bodies coming in to receiving to the upper floors for autopsy and other laboratory services. This particular elevator is dated and obsolete as far as a number of its systems, constructed originally in 1991. It has had some recent reliability concerns, which put a significant impact on the medical examiner's office when it has gone down and if it goes down. This particular project was designed by Osborne Engineering as our engineer of record. The engineer's estimate on this project was $680,000, so we're slightly over that, but within an acceptable tolerance. We received 2 bids on this requisition. This is the lowest bid. $784,000 was the second bid, so pretty decent difference there. This project will, if approved, will modernize the weight handling equipment to include the hoist machine, the hoist cables, and various travel cables on the elevator system. It will modernize the cab interior. It'll modernize the control system and the access control system, because this is a sensitive elevator for access control purposes. It will also bring the building elevator system up to current codes, mechanically speaking, with new rooftop elevator room heating and ventilation equipment, as well as a new sump pump in the elevator pit. Happy to answer any questions you may have on this item.
Any questions, Councilwoman?
Yes, first I want to add my name. And how many elevators are in this building?
So there are other passenger and freight elevators in the main building. There are also multiple passenger elevators in the garage and warehouse addition to the building.
My second question would be the last time and I know we moved in that building. Last time the elevator was put in, how old is the current elevator?
So this elevator, 1991 version of machine, the other elevators in the main building, the freight elevator and the passenger elevators, have had modernizations performed in their history, so they are not needed at this time. This one is particularly needed because of the age of the equipment, as well as we cannot reliably use the other elevators as an alternate. The receiving portion of the building comes in at a different elevation and level than the other elevator systems. So being able to use, say, for example, the freight elevator in a scenario where the body elevator is out is very problematic to transport that body to another half floor down and get that up to autopsy and where it's needed. Significant limitations there.
To the chair, is this, I know you say elevator modernization. Is that going to include the whole kit and caboodle and all the wiring and all that takes it up and down? The mechanics, I should say.
Through the chair to the councilwoman, yes, it will. All of the controls will be modernized, as well as the lift weight handling equipment, the architectural components of the cab, the control and call buttons, all to keep up with current elevator codes.
Elevators are very important. I
Especially this one.
went to the doctor today and I had to walk up 8 flights of stairs. So I had my workout this morning. So we want elevators.
Do we have any other questions or comments from Matt?
Yes.
Councilman?
Mr. Chairman, my question is whether any MBE and/or WBE goal was established for this project, and if yes, whether the goal is being met by the contractor.
Through the chair to the councilman, yes, we had an established goal of 5% SBE, 14% MBE, and 6% WBE. Both bidders were initially non-compliant on their diversity submissions. This particular contractor's bid submission met the 14% MBE requirement, but fell short of the SBE and WBE requirement and did not adequately address a waiver initially. They did go through a DEI administrative reconsideration panel, and their good faith effort was then deemed compliant after that effort. They are, of note, we did work with the vendor as we were preparing our award recommendation. They are a U.S. Small Business Administration veteran-owned small business, and so they make a great candidate to further register with the county. And I see Director Lockett's here, or was here. I believe that her office has had communication with them on seeing if they can get registered themselves.
And what is the MBE percentage actually achieved?
They submitted 14%, which was the goal amount
Right on
on
the
their
target,
bid
okay.
package.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Councilman. Any other questions or Councilman Sweeney?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. It's always nice to see Director Lockett. She takes her job very seriously, and she's here to always answer questions on any contracts that go out, so she's sitting in the back. I have a question about, not this, because this is easy. How's the generators doing? Are they in yet? Because it's been you told me it's a long journey. Is it over?
It's still a very long journey that was hopefully coming to an end this construction season. The project is ready for receipt of the generators. This is the contract with Cold Harbor Building Company for the generator replacement at the medical examiner building. So all of the enclosures, all of the wiring and pathways to the electrical distribution system for those generators are in place and constructed. We're just waiting for the arrival of the generators. Upon receipt, we'll install those generators, get them tested and operational, and then there'll be a demolition effort on the existing generators and existing generator enclosures. So we hope to have that completed this construction season, Councilman.
Thank you. And to tie it into this specific piece of legislation, the generators are very important to the elevators because you don't really want to get stuck in them. Is that
That's
accurate?
correct. And this particular elevator is on emergency power, yes.
Thank you. And through the chair, may I have a point of personal privilege?
Yes, absolutely.
Thank you. Mr. Reiner, you have some, or Reimer, you have some distinguished individuals in this room, and I'm looking at the future of Cuyahoga County and the world. Can you tell me who they are and why they're here?
I sure can. We have 5 architectural co-ops that are in various college programs in Ohio. I believe we're represented by Kent State and Ohio State in our group, right? Right, team? Anyone else? Or anywhere else? Okay, and then so they'll be with us for the summer, as well as a variety of engineering co-op students that are serving in the department also, not here today, but they'll be supporting our architecture and design team throughout the summer to further their education and their experience.
Thank you. Through the chair, I imagine it's under your leadership to offer this to the future, and you should be commended for that, so thank you.
Councilwoman.
I guess just a statement through the chair to, is there any way that we can get a list of the DEI recommendation panel, how many various companies or that have to go through that panel and, you know, are not compliant with the, with all of the FB and WB?
Through the chair to the councilwoman, do you mean for this specific contract or programmatic-wide?
Yeah, just in general, how many are not being compliant and have to be recommended to the DEI panel, and a list of who's on the DEI panel would be helpful.
I don't know if Director Lockett may have time to come and address that. I will say that on this, on this particular contract, when that contractor went through the administrative reconsideration hearing, there is a memorandum that documents that decision.
We just want to make sure they're not going around the policies that we've put in place.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Lenora Lockett, Department of Equity and Inclusion. The Administrative Reconsideration Panel is an internal third-party review. I can provide the formal list. The current list includes representation. The chair is Mr. Ray McDaniels, Stephen Witt from HR, Dale Armbruster from Innovation and Performance, Prentice Jackson from Housing and Community Development, and Shantae McCurdy from OBM. They also have the opportunity to have an alternate, so I'll make sure I provide that list of their current alternates. My department clerks the panel, but we have no, when there's an item that's referred to the panel, I present just as another vendor. So it's there to hear independently why I ruled someone non-compliant, and the vendor gets the opportunity to present why they felt they were compliant with the diversity goals. I can also provide you with a list of the number of hearings they've had since inception. It was part of the 2021. So I can provide you that list, but I can't speak to their reasoning for their rulings.
And can you put on there when they meet? Do they meet on only when a project gets referred to them, right?
Yeah, similar to the grievance hearing board. They try to have a standing, because the goal is for the administrative reconsideration panel to not cause further delay, but at the same time provide opportunity for the vendor to have the opportunity to testify or present why they felt they were compliant.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Absolutely. Any other questions, comments?
Through the chair, would you please add my name?
Yes, no problem. Councilwoman Turner. This is extremely time sensitive.
We would respectfully request consideration of second reading suspension. Yes, Mr. Chairman.
Okay.
Thank you.
So I need a motion to accept second reading on item number 5D.
Moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Okay, great. Thanks, Matt.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. With that, we're going to move on, Janine, to our last item, 5E.
Resolution number 2024-0191, making an award on requisition number 14113 to Anthony Allegas Cement Contractor in the amount not to exceed $4,456,756.61 for rehabilitation of Garfield Boulevard from Warner Road to Turney Road in the city of Garfield Heights.
Nicole English with Public Works. This is a construction award contract for a project in Garfield Heights that really is the true definition of cooperation and partnership. So we started programming this project as a roadway resurfacing project because the pavement condition was bad. At the same time, the County Planning Commission had been working on a complete street project out here with the Metro Parks to connect to the new Garfield Park reservation that the Metro Parks was enhancing. And so we all worked together to assemble funding and put a complete project together that will resurface the roadway, will increase, we'll put a trail along the side. We are installing green infrastructure to collect stormwater that doesn't necessarily go back to the sewer district, and just really enhance this area that's a missing link for the community. So in doing that, we've assembled a whole slew of funding as well. There's funding, 40% is coming from OPWC, the grant funding, the Clean Ohio Trails grant from the state at $500,000. The sewer district has contributed $500,000 grant through their green infrastructure program. Also, Council President Jones has given out of his community fund for the ARPA money $787,748. The city itself is putting in $177,000, and then the remainder is coming from the county. 16% is about $709,000. So we're really proud of this project, just in the way that it came together and how the funding all worked together, and really just everyone's commitment to it. So back to the actual award, we had 5 bids that came in. The estimate was $5.4 million. We are taking the lowest bid at $4.4, which is 17.7% under the estimate in Anthony Allega. And they, there was goals set by Lenora's team, Director Lockett, and they are meeting the DEI goals for the project. So happy to answer any other questions.
Any questions or comments? Councilwoman, yes.
Yes, through the chair to Nicole English, I'm not visual where the correctional campus will be. Is this road anywhere near where that site?
No, this is really kind of by Warner and Miles, so more on the south end of Garfield Heights. No, not really close to, a little bit southeast than
And
where
the
we're
only
at.
reason I was saying that is because when you build something, and if you put in a road a couple years beforehand, that
Gets beat up,
construction
yeah.
is gonna tear it up.
Yeah.
So
for us to wait.
Yep, no, this is further away from that.
Any other questions?
Yes.
Councilman?
Mr. Chairman, Nicole, what were the DEI goals for this project?
6% SBE, 19% MBE, and 5% WBE.
Okay, thank you.
Time sensitivity on this, Nicole?
The weather has been very good to us, so we'd appreciate a second reading suspension so that we could get started.
Right? Do we have any other questions before we make a motion?
I'll make a motion to favorably recommend this resolution for a second reading suspension.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Great, moving on, Nicole, thank you. With that, Janine, we move on to miscellaneous business. Any miscellaneous business from you, Janine? Anyone from members of council? With that, motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Excellent, thank you very much.